Let us see the first exercise. The first exercise is find the words from the poem that convey the following ideas. That is, we are given a phrase and two or three words, and we will have to find out a word for the phrase, and the word should be from the poem. Alright, again I repeat, we are given a phrase, and for the phrase we have to find a word that is the exact meaning of the phrase, and that word should be from the poem. Alright, good. First one, connected together. The word that appears in the poem is blended. B, spread over the surface of the ground in a strangling manner. Trailed. Make out or understand. Measure. Slender woody shoots growing from branches or stems of trees. Budding twigs. So, my dear students, we are given the summary of the poem with certain blanks, and the options have been given for the blanks, and we will have to fill it. Let us see. Complete the summary of the poem by filling the blanks with the words given below. The poet, in a relaxed state of mind, is sitting in a grove. He reflects on how his mind brings pleasant thoughts, which are inevitably followed by sorrowful ones. He feels connected to all of nature and senses an inherent joy in all creations. He has faith in the fact that all the primroses and periwinkles around him savor the air they breathe. He feels that every bird in the grove moves with ecstasy. As the twigs catch the breezy air, they do with the same pleasure, pervading all life on earth. This joy of nature seems to be heaven sent. Nature's holy plan is to offer joy and peace to all forms of life on earth. The poet's pleasant train of thought slowly leads to the sad reflection of how mankind alone has wrought sorrow and suffering upon itself. I repeat, how mankind alone has brought sorrow and suffering upon itself. There is a spelling mistake. Instead of brought, it has been given as wrought. Make B instead of W in the word. He firmly believes that man is meant to spend his days blissfully taking part in the vitality and joy surrounding him in abundance. He therefore concludes rhetorically, emphasizing that he has good reason to lament the distress man unnecessarily brings upon himself. Alright? The third exercise is poetic appreciation. Read the lines given below and answer the questions that follow. Let's read the question. And it's my fate that every flower enjoys the air it breathes. That is the line given to us. The question is, what is the poet's faith? The poet's faith is that every flower enjoys its life. Second question, what trait of nature do we see here? The answer, we see the happiness of nature here. Next, and I must think, do all I can, that there was pleasure there. What did the poet notice about the twigs? The twigs tried to catch the breezy air. What was the poet's thought about them? The poet's thought was that They were all very happy. Next, if this belief from heaven be sent, if such be nature's holy plan, what does heaven refer to? Heaven refers to God. Why does the poet call it holy? As this is the plan of God, he calls it holy. The next exercise is explain the following lines with reference to the context in about 4 to 5 sentences each. First question. In that sweet mood when pleasant thoughts bring sad thoughts to the mind. Reference. These lines are taken from the poem Lines Written in Early Spring, written by Wordsworth. Context. The poet is sitting in a grove and his mind is filled with pleasant and sad thoughts. Explanation. In an early spring, Wordsworth sat in a small woodland grove and listened to the bird song around him. The bird songs promoted happy thoughts in his mind, but the same happy thoughts brought some sadness to him. Man did not treat nature well, though it created a strong connection with him, so he feels sad. The second ERC. The birds around me hoped and played, their thoughts I cannot measure. Reference. Again, these lines are taken from the poem Lines Written in Early Spring, written by Wordsworth. Context. The poet wants to emphasize that the flowers and birds are happy in this world. Explanation. He felt sorry to know the reality of man in this world. Nature brings happiness to the soul of man, which is connected to nature. But man has not done anything good to mankind and nature. Wordsworth sat in a small woodland grove and listened to the bird song around him. The birds seemed to be happily jumping and playing around him, but he could not understand what they had in their mind. The next ERC. Have I not reason to lament what man has made of man? Reference. These lines are taken from the poem Lines Written in Early Spring, written by Wordsworth. Context. The poet says that man has not done anything to make man happy. Explanation. The poet thinks that mankind alone has caused sorrow to himself. Actually, man is meant to spend his days happily, so he laments the sufferings of the man. The poet's soul is lamenting the miseries of man. The next exercise is read the following sets of lines and identify the figures of speech used in the extract. First, to a fair works did nature link, the human soul that through me ran. Personification. Her. Nature is personified with a she, with a lady. Second, and this my faith that every flower enjoys the air it breathes. Personification. Meaning every flower enjoys, they breathe. So the human action is associated with the flower. So it is personification. What man has made of man? It is man, alliteration can be said, and it's also a rhetorical question. This is not the question to be answered. The question has been raised so that the readers will feel the effect of it. The readers will feel one with the poet, the suffering of the poet. The next exercise is read the poem once again, identify the rhyme scheme and pick out the rhyming pairs of words. Rhyme scheme A, B, A, B. Let us see the rhymes. Notes, thoughts. Bower, flower. Fan, can. Reclined, mind. Reads, breathes. Air, where. Link, think. Played, made. Sent, lament. Ran, man. Measure, pleasure. Plan, man. These are the rhyming words found in the poem. The next exercise is, based on your reading of the poem, answer the following questions in a sentence or two each. First question. How does the poet feel while enjoying the beauty of nature? Answer. The poet feels happy and sad while enjoying the beauty of nature. Does nature affect person's thoughts and feelings? Explain nature's explain. Nature affects a person's thoughts and feelings. He feels happy to be in the midst of plants and flowers. Nature is connected to the soul of man. How do people bring grief and sorrow to one another? People do not think about the welfare of others. They plan to destroy others. Thus people bring grief and sorrow to one another. Why does the poet think that the birds were happy? Birds were jumping and playing around him, so the poet thinks the birds were happy. The poet finds joy in various objects of nature. Explain. The poet sits in a grove which is full of plants. Then he finds joy in different flowers. He enjoys looking at the birds which are jumping and playing. Bring out the poet's thoughts while comparing nature with human behavior. Nature gives its best to human beings, but man does not treat nature well. He is responsible for the destruction of nature and man. The next exercise is, complete the following sentences by choosing the best options. Option A. Question number 1. The poet experiences sadness because dash. The blender notes are jarring. Nature is filled with negativity. He is worried about the destruction caused to nature. The answer, natural calamities occur frequently. Option 3. He is worried because he is worried about the destruction caused to nature. Next, the poem is set in a city, village, grove, park. The answer, grove. Third one. This poem speaks of dash. Man's plan to shape destiny. Man seeking pleasure and riches. Man indulging in wars and acts of destruction. Man's fear of nature. Answer, man indulging in wars and acts of destruction. The next exercise is, answer in a paragraph about 100 to 150 words. Do you think the poet wants to say that man is unhappy because he has lost his link with nature and forgotten how to enjoy nature because man is cruel to other man? Answer. Poem, lines written in early spring. Poet William Wordsworth. Theme, nature's holy plan is offering joy and peace. Quotation, first quote. And much it grieved my heart to think what man has made of man. The paragraph starts. William Wordsworth, 1770 to 1850, was a major English poet who, with S.T. Coleridge, helped to launch the Romantic Age in English literature with the joint publication Lyrical Ballads. He was popularly known as nature poet. Wordsworth, in this poem, lines written in early spring, brings out the idea that the nature is connected to man's soul. If man is close with nature, he will find happiness irrespective of whatever happens. Wordsworth sits in a small woodland grove and listens to the birds' song around him. But although happy thoughts are prompted by the bird song, the same happy thoughts bring sadness to the mind. The sad thoughts has come to him because man is not taking care of his fellow beings and nature. Every plant and flower feels happy and it spreads happiness around him. The birds are jumping and playing around him. Though he cannot understand what they think, he is sure that they are showing their happiness. The birds and the twigs are on the trees seem to exist in a world of pleasure. Nature's plan is to make man happy, but because of man's destructive nature and attitude, he brings unhappiness to the world. He clearly says that the man is cruel to other men because he is losing his link with nature.